Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Om Namah Shivaya Shantaya Karanatraya Hetave Nivedayami Chatmanam Tvam Gati Parameshwara. In last discourse, we have seen the hymn written by Swami Vivekananda on Bhagavati Amba. That was the Amba Stotram by Swami Vivekananda. In this discourse, we are going to see the Shiva Stotram, which was composed by Swamiji. Swami Vivekananda was fond of Shiva's personality. As a deity, she used to adore Shiva a lot. Shiva is known as the god of ascetics or the ascetic god, who is moving naked all over the universe, begging for the food. But even then, he holds the highest position in our culture and religion. So such is the personality of Shiva, such is the concept of Shiva. Swami Vivekananda elaborates it very well. And we should know certain things about Swamiji also. How that Shiva Bhakti was very spontaneous for him. Swamiji was born out of Shiva's boon. We need to understand this. So, Bhuneshwari Devi and Vishwanath Datta, the couple from Kolkata, they were having 3 daughters. And Bhuneshwari Devi was continuously praying for a son child. She was willing to have a son on her lap. And days were passing like that, and this family was very much connected with the Banaras somehow. Swami Vivekananda's grandfather, Sri Durga Prasad Datta, he also, it has happened so, after the marriage, after a certain time, keeping some amount of wealth for his wife and the newborn baby, Vishwanath Dutt, suddenly he left the home to take the sannyasa. And once his wife, the mother of Vishwanath Datta, when she went to Varanasi, she came across him. When she could see her own husband in the form of sannyasin. Anyhow, that is a different story. So, this family was so much connected with the Varanasi, and someone has suggested Bhuneshwari Devi that there is one unique temple in the Banaras on the Sindhya Ghat. The temple is known as the Vireshwara Shiva or Atma Vireshwara Shiva. And they say, if you pray to that particular aspect of Shiva there, he will boon you with the male child. So Bhuneshwari has agreed to that, and she found that one of her distant relative, she is spending her last days into Varanasi, staying very nearby that temple. So she requested that old woman that please offer the prayers to Lord Vireshwara on my behalf for the sake of male child. And that lady started offering the prayers to Vireshwara Shiva. Now we will go further. What is the story behind this Atma Vireshwara Shiva or Vireshwara Shiva? There was a king in the Kashi called Ajitamitra. And Ajitamitra, once he was roaming around his kingdom, he found that one young lady is getting teased by some dacoits. And he saved that lady, young girl, and he brought her to his house. And she was a very pious girl from good family. Ajit Mitra felt that she is to be his wife, and he married to her. Her name was Malaya Gandhini. Ajit Mitra married to a lady or girl called Malaya Gandhini. Both of them, they were spending their days in happiness. The story comes into Kashi Khanda. So they say that they got a male child, they got the son. And when the son was born, the horoscope was being done, and the astrologers told that this son is not having much life. He's having hardly 16 years of his life, and after that he will depart the world. Now this was the very painful for Malayagandhini and Ajitamitra. So they tried to find out the solution. And the miracle with this son was that when he born, after taking the birth, immediately within few days, he started looking like a 16-year-old guy, 16-year-old person. So he came to know about the fact that he has not much time to spend on this planet. He went to the bank of Ganges, now where the present Vireshwara temple is there. He started staying there and spending his days in the intense penance. Great tapasya he started there. So Bhagwan Shiva appeared in front of him in the form of this Shivalinga, that is the Vireshwara Shiva. And further he gave him abhaya. He said that you need not to worry, your death is postponed. So that is how the story goes. So this Atma Vireshwar Shiva is established by the son of Malayagandhini and Ajitamitra. So then what next special to this Atma Vireshwara? It has happened so, again the story comes into the Kashi Khanda only. There was a sage called Vishwanara, and he was not having any progeny. There were no children for him. So Vishwanara and his wife, they were seeking for a male child. So by that time, someone has told, you know that Vireshwara temple is there in the Kashi, you go there, you offer your prayers, and definitely he will answer your prayers, that is for sure. So this Vishwanara goes there with his wife and starts doing tapasya. While doing tapasya, one day he could see the 8-year-old boy, a young boy, standing very next to that Shivalinga and gazing at him graciously. So actually, you know, the Vireshwara's dhyana mantra, actually how that Vireshwara Shiva's nature is, how his form is, that is given very beautifully. I will read it for you. That Vireshwara dhyana, it goes like this. Vibhutim bhushitam balam ashtavarsha kritim shishum. He is a full smeared with the ashes. Balam, he is a small boy. The small boy smeared with the ashes. Ashtavarsha kritim shishum. That Shishu is just 8-year-old. That his height, his gestures, it is just matching with the 8-year-old boy. Then, Akarana Purnetrancha Swaktram Dasanocham. Akarana Purnetram. His eyes are just touching his ears. Akarana, that long eyes, long and beautiful eyes. Generally, if we see any Devamurti or Devi Murti, we see their eyes are very specially carved or painted or designed. The eyes are not ordinary eyes like human beings. Akarana Purna Netramcha. These eyes are touching, almost his ears, and Purna Netram, full means complete open. It's just like a lotus petal. So that's why we call the gods with Padmaksha and all these things. So they're full like with lotus petal eyes, Suvaktram, very beautiful face, Dashanocham, very tender appearance. Charupingam Jatamaulim Nagnam Prahasitananam. Charupingam Jatamaulim. And with curly hairs. And you know, curly hairs are tied in the form of jata. The bunch of curly hairs, it is on his head, and he is like that. That boy has appeared in front of him. Charupingam Jatamaulim Nagnam Prahasitananam. He is naked and he is staring at this sage Vishwanara, and he is giving a smile. He is laughing at him. Shaishavochitam Nepathya Dharanam Chittaharanam. Such a wonderful boy. Such a beautiful boy. Nepathya Dharanam Chittaharanam. How is he? He as if he is stealing your heart. Chittaharanam. He is dragging your attention completely. Not just like that, not 50%, 20%, 50%, nothing. He has completely attracted your mind in such a way that you feel to get merged into his personality. So this is the dhyana mantra of Vireshwara. So in the course of time, this Vishwanara, he gets the male child out of, then this, in between he is there, this boy suggests Vishwanara, he says there is one stotra called Abhilasha Ashtakam. So this Abhilasha Ashtakam is the praise to this Vireshwara Shiva. That boy suggests, you worship the Shiva with this Abhilasha Ashtakam and definitely you will get the son. Abhilasha means desire, kamana. Ashtakam, these eight stanzas are composed to fulfill your Abhilasha, good desires. If you praise the Lord Vireshwara with this Abhilasha Ashtakam, he will take care of your progeny and all. So Vishwanara accepts this and he understands in his heart that yes, Lord Shiva himself has suggested him this way of penance, and he praises the Lord with Abhilasha Ashtakam, he performs the tapasya and he gets the child. So this is the story behind the Vireshwara Shiva. When I went there for the visit, maybe last year, so I found there another one very good incident has been connected with that Lord Vireshwara Shiva. Lord Buddha's parents, Maya Devi and Shuddhodana, they have also prayed to this same deity for the sake of child. Lord Buddha himself was born out of the grace of this Vireshwara Shiva. So it is something special that Lord Buddha and Swamiji, they were very much connected. We know very well that Swamiji praises high for the sake of Gautam Buddha. So same way, Swamiji also, so the Swamiji's mother conveyed her relative, distant relative, to offer the worships to Lord Vireshwara, and it has been offered, and here Bhuneshwari Devi got the son. One day Shiva comes in her dream and he says that there will be the son born out of my blessings, and Narendranath takes the birth at the womb of Bhuneshwari Devi. So that is something special. Here another interesting incident is happening. In the Dakshineshwar, on the terrace, one of the that apartment's terrace, Bhagwan Ramakrishna is standing in ecstasy. It is an evening, it is a dusk time, or maybe in the night also. It can be the night. So the whole sky is full of stars, clear sky. Sri Ramakrishna is standing on the terrace and looking upward. Suddenly he saw the light, the bunch of light. It has come from the direction of the Varanasi and it entered somewhere into the ground of Kolkata. Ramakrishna is happy. He went into the ecstasy. This he narrates afterwards, after meeting Narendranath Datta. He says, I could see that this bunch of light came from the Kashi, traveled towards the Kolkata and entered into the city of Kolkata and disappeared. That time itself I understood that Shiva's Amsha is going to take birth in this city. So Swamiji himself, this is the chain of incidents which are happening before the birth of Swami Vivekananda. So it is a very spontaneous for Swamiji to have the great devotion towards the Shiva. It is very natural. So that is how he has composed this stotra. The stotra goes like this. Nikhila bhuvana janma sthema bhanga prarohaha akalita mahimanaha kalpita yatra tasmin suvimala gaganabhe isha samsthepyanishe mama bhavatu bhavesmin bhasuro bhavabandha. Salutation to Shiva, whose glory is immeasurable, who resembles sky in clearness. How is he? He is like a suvimala gaganabhe, the clear sky. There is a clarity, stainless. He has no stains in him. Suvimala gaganabhe. Clear, who resembles sky in clearness, to whom are attributed the phenomena of all creation, the preservation and dissolution of the universe. Nikhila bhuvana janma sthema bhanga prarohaha. The whole universe, the whole creation, it is getting created, it is appearing, it is sustaining, and again it is dissolving in him. Shiva is not a person, but Shiva is the principle. Swamiji explaining the Shiva as a principle in front of us. In the beginning of this discourse, we saw the Shiva as a personality. But Shiva is not only the personality, there is a principle behind that personality, which Swamiji is going to explain us. May the devotion, the burning devotion of this my life, attach itself to him, to Shiva, who is Lord of all, with name transcending him. He is beyond the name and form. He is beyond the name and form. So my devotion, let my devotion be at his feet always. Here he says, Mama bhavatu bhavesmin bhasuro bhavan. How is he? He is a bhasura. Bhasura means tejasvi, luminous, ever luminous God. That is the Shiva. He is stainless, the clear, like a clear sky. And all this creation, sustenance and dissolution is happening on him. He is there as a substratum. He is there as a adhisthana for all this srishti, sthiti and laya. Yet unaffected by all this. Yet unaffected by all this. When we go to the movie, we see the screen. We see the various projection on the screen, various movements on the screen. When the projector is off, what we see? We see the clear screen. So Shiva is like that. The whole universe, the whole creation is only appearing on his adhisthana, that's all. He has become the adhisthana for that appearance. But he is unattached to that. So that is the Shiva. So such is the Shiva, and may my devotion be at his feet. Suvimala gaganabhe, akalita mahimana kalpita yatra tasmin. So many kalpanas are there. Many imaginations are there. Innumerable imaginations are there. Each and every mind, each and every individual, they are having their own imagination about their own personality, creation and all these things. So, actually if you see, the world should be chaotic in that way. But it is not. Still it is maintaining the order of its happenings. So, this Shiva is, because why it is happening? Because Shiva is there as a substratum. He has given that sthairya to this creation. The many things are happening, the controversial things are happening in and around us. But even then, the scene is sustaining, the whole universe is sustaining, only because he is the substratum for it. Suvimala gaganabhe isha samsthepyanishe. He is the God. He is the God himself. And he cannot be governed by anyone. Anisha. There are so many gods, semi-gods. They are governed by these three devatas, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, Shakti, etc. But Shiva, no one can rule the Shiva. He is ungoverned. He stands on his own. He always is merged in his own nature, his bliss. So, such is the principle of Shiva. Shiva means what? Shiva means auspiciousness. Shiva means what? The whole world condensed is nothing but the Shiva. So this is the glory of Shiva. Anisha means not governed by anyone. It means the Sarvashrestha, all powerful, Lord of the all. Regarding this, another one special word Swamiji used it here, that is Bhasuro, that is the Tejasvi, the self-luminous. Upanishad says here, Na tatra suryo bhati, na bhati chandra tarka, nema vidyuto bhati, kutoyam agnihi. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. The luminosity of sun and moon, it is negligible in front of him. Where is the question of thunderbolt and Agni? Kutoyam Agni. Nema vidyuto bhati. In front of him, even the vidyut, that lightning, it is also powerless. It is also the lightless. Such is the luminosity belongs to him. Nema vidyuto bhati kutoyam agnihi. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. On his glory, on his luminosity, the whole universe is luminous. The whole creation is having the light out of him. That is what can I say, that is his nature. So, such is the principle of Shiva, and may my devotion be at his feet forever. This is the emotion of Swamiji. the existence, we are existing in this universe, we are existing in this creation. And our existence, it is because of him. Last time in Stotra also we have seen. So how is the mother's, what is the mother's nature? We are existing in this world, we think that we are the product of this nature, and yes, the nature is running in the orderliness, but actual what is the truth? The truth is that mother is ruling the nature very unknowingly, without any notice, without any chaos. She is running. That's why we are sustaining peacefully. That's why our appearance is, it is without much disturbance, it is going on. So like that, Shiva is the substratum for everything. See, if mother is the she is the ruling power, the Shiva is the ruler of that mother also. He is holding, that's why Shiva is called the Maya Adhisha. He is holding that creative power with him. Without him, the Shakti is, she is not having any movement also. Without Shakti, Shiva is also without any movement. So, Shiva and Shakti, they are abhinna. Of course, that will go to the different topic. We will move towards the second shloka. The first shloka is over. Second shloka goes like this. Nihita nikhila mohe dhishata yatra rudha prakatita parapremna yo mahadeva sabnyaha ashithila parirambha prema rupasya yasya pranayati hridi vishvam vyajamatram vibhutvam. In whom lordship is ever established, who causes annihilation of delusion. In whom lordship is ever established. Now here we need to understand adhishata, dhishata. So always the people, they are made out of something. We establish the wealth in our life. We are not born leaders. We are not born teachers. We are not born doctors. We establish that teacherhood or doctorhood in our life. We establish that disciplehood. We try to establish it in our personality. But Shiva is not like that. He is the ruler himself. No one has made him the ruler. He is the ruler himself. He is unchallenging, ever established into the lordship. It is his nature. Being a lord is his nature. No one has, out of grace or out of devotion, out of too much of devotion and emotions, they have said, no, Shiva is the god. It is nothing like that. But it is his nature. It is his nature. The way the fluidity is the nature of water. The burning power is the nature of Agni. So the same way, the governance is the nature of Shiva. He governs. He rules. In whom lordship is ever established, who causes annihilation of delusion. Nihita nikhila mohe dhishata yatra rudha. Nihita nikhila mohe. This annihilation of delusion. We are deluded. We are deluded in this world. Got struck into the cycle of this birth and death. That is what scriptures are telling us. From time immemorial, they are telling us that yes, you have come here, but it is not that you have to be here like this. You have to search for the highest. You have to search for the truth. So be the seeker of truth. That's what scriptures are telling us. That's what they are reminding us. You lead the life the whatever way you want. You enjoy the life. You try to take the essence of this life, but don't waste the life. Don't give up this opportunity. Use this opportunity completely. That is what the suggestion from the Shastras is there for us. So, come out of this delusion. Use this birth to come out of this delusion. That's what the Shastras are telling us continuously. Don't get stuck into this delusion. This is the mirage. This is the dream for you. Time being, it is appearing in front of you. Don't get too much entangled into it. Don't get too much engaged into it. But that is what Bhagavan says to Arjuna. Come out of this delusion. Come out of this delusion. This delusion is nothing but the destroying your energies. For what you have come here, what you have to do here, and what you are doing. Where you are getting stuck. For what? Think it deeply and search for the highest. Go for the truth. When you are going towards the truth, definitely you will be out of this cycle of birth and death. So Shiva is having this capacity, nihita nikhila mohe, he annihilates all kinds of delusion if you surrender to him. One who loves him, he too loves that being and liberates him through grace. The Shiva's nature is the grace, as we are seeing. So one who take the refuge at his feet, does it mean that he is not gracious to other beings? Yes, he is the gracious. But Sri Ramakrishna says one place. The wind of grace is flowing continuously from Bhagavan. Continuously it is flowing. There is no break for it. The way the oxygen is continuously flowing through this air and we are inhaling and exhaling, we are leading the lives. The same way, the grace is also flowing. Continuously it is flowing, right? The day creation has come into the existence. Then that moment onwards, that grace is flowing. But you have to raise the sail. You have to raise the sail of your boat. That is what Sri Ramakrishna says. If you will not raise the sail, what is the use? We are sitting without any tapasya. We are sitting without any seeking, and we say no, grace should come to us. That is not going to happen. You should try. You should develop some capacity, some ability to receive that grace. That is what Sri Ramakrishna says. So Shiva is ever gracious. Prakatita parapremna yo Mahadeva samjnaha. How? He is a Prakatita parapremna yo Mahadeva samjnaha. He is called Mahadeva. Why he is called Mahadeva? We know the story. The story is well known. When the Amrita Manthana was going on, when the churning of that great ocean was happening, the first what came out? Came out the hala hala. Before the Amrita came out the hala hala. And that the destructive poison started troubling the whole creation. No one was ready to receive it. Such was the power of hala hala. Even all the devatas, they were powerless in front of. Everyone started suffering out of that appearance of hala hala. That time, this god of ascetics, who is smearing the ashes on his body, who is moving from the smashana to smashana to beg as his residence, who is begging the food from door to door, that god of ascetics, that lord of Uma, he stands and he says, give that poison to me, I am ready to drink it. No one else came forward. He takes it because he is confident about his power. You know, that is the adhishata, that anishata, all these attributes are with him. He knows what is his creation, and he knows good and bad in this creation, and he knows how to bless the good, how to be benevolent towards the goodness, and how he should hold the badness, how he should control the badness of this universe. That is what the story goes. So he receives that hala hala, he takes it, he stores it, that hala hala, into his kantha, in his neck, and he becomes the Nilakantha. So, and because of this action, all the devatas, they call him, they attributed him as a Mahadeva. So Mahadeva has not come just out of anybody's extraordinary devotion and all this thing. He has worked on that, he has worked in that way. That's why he is a Mahadeva. So, yo Mahadeva samjnaha. Next, what is his nature? Ashithila parirambha prema rupasya yasya pranayati hridi vishvam vyajamatram vibhutvam. So, has crowned him with a name above all names, the name of Mahadeva, the great God, whose warm embrace of love personified displays within man's heart that all power is but a semblance and a passing show. Such is the Mahadeva. He is such a great God, and yet, though he is a great God, he is an extraordinary, he is a full of love. One who loves him, he goes and he embraces him. And in that embrace, the parirambha, the word Swamiji uses here, ashithila parirambha, the once he embraces that creature, that being, he never leaves him. Be it the demon. Ravana prayed to him, did the tapasya for him, and Bhagwan gave his own Atmalinga to him. He never blessed anyone like this. He was so much influenced by the tapasya of Ravana, and it happened because out of he is a love personified. if you love him, he is ready to give anything and everything to him. That straightforwardness is with him. That is his nature. Ashitila parirambha prema rupasyasya pranayati hridhi vishvam vyaja matram vibhutvam. But you understand, once you receive his love, then whatever the thing which you are seeing, the creation, the happenings, you feel it is nothing but a semblance. It is nothing but a small reflection of his his principle. That's all. Nothing more than that. He is the really ruling principle behind. So, the love for the highest, automatically it becomes the spontaneous for you if you love to the Shiva. So that's why he is a Mahadeva. What is there? He can cut off your delusion. He can take away your sufferings. He absorbs your suffering. The others will say, no, yes, I will remove your suffering. He absorbs. Literally, if you are suffering and there is no way out of it, he says, okay, you give those sufferings to me. I will suffer on your behalf. That is the nature of Mahadeva. That's why he is the Mahadeva. What happened, what we can see with the incident of Sati, he has told the Sati Devi, don't go, you are not invited in the yajna of Daksha. Why you have to go there? Be away from it. She says, no, I have to go. That is my father's house. She argues. She goes. She gets insulted there. And she burns her own body into the Yogagni. And Shiva takes that lifeless body. He's a Trikaladarshi. He knows everything what is going to happen. So he takes that body and he starts dancing that furious dance, that Tandava. It is happening. And the Devatas are afraid now. What is going to happen? What Leela is going to take place? And Bhagwan Vishnu cuts that body with his Sudarshan Chakra into 51 pieces, and those all 51 pieces fallen all over the Indian subcontinent and known as the 51 Shakti Pithas. So each and every act of his, one way this act shows that his tremendous love for his own wife, that is Sati Devi. Another side, it shows that even out of that burnt body also, he has created the 51 dazzling divine pithas, divine places all over the Indian subcontinent, so that devotees can go there and offer their prayers to the Mother Divine, to the power eternal. So he works in both the ways. One side is the destruction, one side is the recreation. Gangavatarana. The Ganga, we say now we call it the Ganga river, the holy, now it is a Kumbha Parva is going on. Thousands, lakhs and crores of people every day they are visiting to that holy place just to take one dip into the Triveni Sangama. Ganga is having a tremendous influence over the Indian mind, Hindu mind. And it is vice versa, it is simultaneous, it is creating the influence all over the world. So crores of people are gathering on the bank of that holy river. And has that holy river came just like that? No, it was not like that. Bhagiratha had to do a lot of tapasya for that. Thousands of years he did. Not only Bhagiratha, Bhagiratha's earlier 2 generations too had done tapasya for the sake of Ganges coming to the earth. And Bhagiratha's tapasya was complete. It was completely dedicated to the Ganga, and his tapasya was answered, and Ganga has agreed to come down to the earth. But she is a very notorious Devi, goddess. She said, I will not come just like that. So she is moving from various places. She is coming from the Vaikuntha, she is coming to the Swarga, she is from the Swarga, she is coming down. And when she is coming down, she is along with that she is flooding everything. She is troubling everywhere. She is washing out the ashramas, she is washing out the empires, this and that. So people were worried, everyone was afraid, even the rishis, devatas were afraid. Oh, if this force continues of this Devi Ganga, how it is possible to protect the creation? So that time who stands? That time Shiva stands there. Everyone visualized that when she comes down from the Swarga, definitely that the whole earth will be destroyed, because such a huge force she is having with her. With that huge force she is going to flow. So that time Shiva stands. He stands on the top of the mountain Himalaya and he says, let her come. I will hold her on my jata, in my jata. And that Ganga, with that arrogance, she comes, she descends from the sky, from the Swarga, on the head of Shiva, and Shiva controls her. He ties her in his jata and leaves a small stream for the sake of welfare of the people. So that's why he is a Mahadeva. He can take your sufferings. At the same time, he has the capacity to protect from this kind of mishappenings. So that's why we have to adore the Shiva. That's why the devotion to the Shiva is the must. We can see some similarities between the Shiva and Swamiji's personality. Whole life, Swamiji worked for the sake of society. He worked for nation, he worked for the humanity. But most of the time, there was a very poisonous criticism on him. And the funny thing is that Swamiji has never uttered a single word against this criticism. He swallowed that poison of criticism. Why it happens? Acharya Abhinava Gupta one place says, Niyatatam Brahmatam Vinimajjatam Pravishatam Parivarashatay Rathaha Tanubhrutam Ayameva Bhavarnave Bhayamaye Bhagwan Avalambanam. We are deluded. What Niyatatam? First, we are slipped. We are slipped out of our track. Brahmatam. After leaving the track, we start moving here and there. We start giving the chakkar everywhere. Brahmatam. Vinimajjatam. After giving chakkar to everywhere, after moving everywhere, after seeing all these places which we suppose not to go there and all these things, we start getting, drawn. We are drawing in the ocean of this bhava. This samsara is called the ocean. Our own happenings, with our own happenings, we are dying. And even then, after when we are drawing in that ocean also, drowning in that ocean, there also, we are trying to create some other things. We create some relations, we create so many, our own world we try to create. We never feel to come out of it. Why it happens? Because we have taken this body-mind complex. When this body-mind complex is there, we have to go through all these things. So, what exactly the form of this creation is nothing but like a samudra. This is like a sagara. And we are drowning into that sagara. In that sagara, if we are drowning, then what is the avalambana? How we can come out of it? This samsara full of fear, there is the only way, that is the Bhagavan. If we take at the refuge of his feet, then only it is possible for us to come out of it. And he gives us the refuge. He shows through his action, out of love towards us, how he can be shelter for us. That we need to understand. Just try to understand this, that he is the alone shelter for us, and we will be saved. Next is the shloka. Third shloka. Vahati vipulavataha purva samskara rupaha pramathati balavrandam ghurnite vormimala prachalati khalu yugmam yushpadasmat pratitam ati vikalita rupam naumi chittam shivastham, in which the tempest of the whole past blows, past samskaras stirring the energies with violence, like water lashed to waves, in which the dual consciousness of I and thou plays on. I salute that mind unstable, centered in Shiva, the abode of calm. Here actually, the translation is very poetic. Vahati vipulavataha purva samskara rupaha. These winds are blowing, very strong, powerful winds are blowing. Of what? Purva samskaras. You remember, our personality is mostly ruled by our purva samskaras, very much. What impressions we have created accumulated along with us, good, bad. And these impressions are out of our desires, good and bad both. So that's why there is a reflection of goodness and badness in our own personality. So these purva samskaras, these accumulated impressions are called the purva samskaras. Desires and actions. We desire something and we enact accordingly. We act accordingly to get something out of that desire. And that becomes the impression on our personality. So, vahati vipulavaataha purva samskarupa. How these impressions are there? If you try to sit for 5 minutes quietly, if we start meditating, immediately we see that so many thoughts are coming. We are able to see those thoughts. They are disturbing our mind. They are disturbing. They are flooded. They are flooded. Uncontrollable thoughts are there. Sometimes we are thinking about our house. Sometimes we are thinking about the ashrama. Sometimes we are thinking about the politics. Where not? What not? Everything is flooding in crowding in your mind. That crowd of thoughts. So, why it is happening? Because we have accumulated all these things. We have allowed to create the impression in our mind, all these desires and actions. So, these purva samskaras, they are just like that powerful winds. Vahati vipulavaataha purva samskara rupaha pramadhati balavrundam ghurnite vormimala. The waves on the ocean, if you see, when the powerful winds are blowing, the waves of ocean also, it goes high and low. So, that is what is happening with us. All our energies are getting stirred because of these purva samskaras. Energies are used not by our consciousness, used by the purva samskaras. Our lower personality, lower type of personality is actually using our life. Bhartruhari says one place very correctly. He says, Bhogana bhunkta vayameva bhuktaha. We have not enjoyed the life. We have not enjoyed the life. But the enjoyments, that kind of lower desires, they have enjoyed our lives. We have lost our lives into the thinking and into the, into the continuous company with these lower desires. So, this is happening with us. Pramathati balavrundam ghurnite vormimala. It is just like stirs happening in the ocean out of powerful winds of purva samskaras, in which the dual consciousness of I and thou plays on. And when this is happening, we are having another one roga here. We are having another one problem, that is me, my, you and yours. We are always completely merged into the thinking of this duality continuously. Aham mama, my ahankara, and this is your. Everyone is working according to their own ahankara, and that's the one of the cause of trouble. So, when this is happening, prachalati khalu yugmam yushmadasmat pratitam ativikalita rupam daumi chitta. This ativikalita rupa of chitta, it is happening with me. I am continuously engaged into the thought of duality, me and thou. This is mine, this is yours. Where it starts, where it ends, who has started this? We don't know. Inborn, it is happening with us, and we are suffering out of it. When we say this is mine, someone is there to snatch it. When we say it is yours, again we are having the pain of losing it. So what is this game? What is this game? This is nothing but the game of ativikalita chitta. Your chitta is ativikalita. It is highly disturbed. It is highly disturbed. But it can become the calm. It can become the quiet if it is Shivastham. If it merges with the Shiva. I remember, Swamiji says here, Shivastham. One who gets established, one who gets settled into the principle that is called Shiva. Shiva is nothing but the Shantam. He is nothing but the Karanatraya Hetu. So, when the mind gets stable into that Shiva, it merges into the Shiva, it dissolves into that Shiva, then it is possible that this whole problem will be solved. So, most prominent sign of delusion, as we saw, that is the I and thou. Continuously it is happening. Shiva Pradakshimapana Stotra is there. The beautiful shloka is there. Ayur nashyati pashyatam pratidam yati kshayam yauvanam. Every day my life is getting destroyed. It is getting over. It is running like anything. Pratidinam yati kshayam yauvanam. That tarunya, that yauvana, that youth, it is also getting over. Everything is going to the dissolution. Pratyayanti gataha punarna divasaha kalo jagad. The day which has passed, it has passed forever. It is not going to come back. Huh? So what is this means? Here he gives wonderful upama that kalo jagat bhakshakaha. This time, it is as if it is eating the whole creation. Time is passing. The whole creation, it is nothing but the morsel of this time. Then what is this? Lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapla vidyuchalam jivanam. Lakshmi is like a toya taranga bhanga chapla. The waves on the water. How long it sustains? Or the bubbles on the water. How long it will be there? It just appears and it vanishes. So that is the nature of Lakshmi. That is the nature of wealth. And still we are so much attached to it. So Lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapla vidyuchalam jivanam. Life today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. Till last moment someone was there. Massive heart attack. He is no more. He or she. These are our regular experiences. We can't deny this. To whom we are so much attached, to even the people or the things also. We are attached so much, but when one moment some accident takes place, the best car which you have purchased, no, it is not there. It is completely, it has become the hip of the metal, that's all. You have to put into the scrap. So that is the value of this materialistic world. Lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapla vidyuchalam jivitam. Jivana is also like that. Today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. Tasman, then what should I do? I have to surrender to thee, O my Lord. Tasmat mam sharanagatam sharanada tvam raksha rakshadhuna. You alone can protect me from this delusion, from this impermanent world. I am the victim of these purva samskaras. I am the victim of my past actions and desires. If I have to come out of it, you are alone is the refuge for me. You are alone are the shelter. That's why Kala is here, he calls the Kala as a Jagat Bhakshaka. But we have to remember, the name of Shiva is the Mahakala. One who morsels even the Kala, he is the Mahakala. So, such is the Shiva. So we have, when we are having this Akti Vikalita Rupam Chittam, what you have to do? Take the refuge at the feet of Shiva. That is what Swamiji suggests us. The next shloka goes like this. Janaka janita bhavo vrittaya sanskritascha aganada bahurupo yatra eko yathartha samita vikrutivatam yatra nantar bahischa tamahaharamide chittavrutte nirudham. Where the ideas of parent and produced, purified thoughts and endless varied forms merge in the real one. Where the existence ends of such conceptions as within, without, the wind of modification stilled, that Hara I worship, the suppression of moments of the mind. Shiva I hail. Bhagavan said into the Bhagavad Gita, Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudram apam pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantim apnoti na kamakami. When this desires everything, it is merged. It is calmed down. One who is having with full of desires, he cannot get the peace. Who gets the peace? Not the desirer of desires, but that man attains peace in whom all desires merge, even as rivers flow into the ocean, which is full and unmoving. The rivers are entering into the ocean. If you see, it is a wonderful sight to see. Huge rivers, they are getting merged into the ocean quietly. Ocean has no any this one. It is not that Ganga, Yamuna, everyone is coming very forcibly. They are coming and they are Godavari, they are entering into the ocean, and ocean is every day. Ganga is flooded, ocean has increased its sea level with some feet, and again there is a drought, then he has reduced the level, sea level has been reduced. It won't happen. It is the same. So same way, one whose desires are over and all these things, such mind, it gets the peace of mind. And if you want to get the peace of mind, that is the Shiva. That is again you have to take the refuge at Shiva. Bhagavan Patanjali said, the yoga chittavrittir nirodha. This chittavritti, these mental modifications are creating the havoc in our life. So when we are able to control and calm down these mental modifications, it is possible to get merged into that stable unmoving, unchangeable principle. That's what Swami says. Na antar na bahisha. There is no concept of to be born. There is no concept of birth and death. There's no concept of parents, and there is no concept of produced children. So what is there? There is the only stillness. There is the only calmness. There is the only oneness. Na antar bahisha. Shamita vikruti vatam yatra na antar bahisha. The moment this vikruta vata, these disturbing winds are stopped, they are calmed down. What you feel the stillness. We can see this in the physical world also. When there is a stormy night, you just imagine, now the days are coming, maybe in the month of April or May it will start. Suddenly some storms will come, there will be storm, rains, what you can say, lightning and all these things. And you just imagine the next day morning, everything is calm, quiet. The whole Prakriti is still. So once those powerful winds are stopped, then what remains? There remains the only calmness. So, tamha haramide chitta vritter nirodham. I hail to that Shiva. I prostrate to that Shiva alone. Next, the shloka goes like this, the fifth shloka. Before that I will tell, this Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example for this. He gives the example of the salt doll. A doll is made up of salt. So, someone has told that doll that you go and measure the sea level. So that doll goes to the sea to measure the sea level. Who will come back and will give the news what is the sea level? Because she is made out of that sea, of that salt, which is the nature of that sea, ocean. She goes there to measure the height and she gets merged there. She goes to measure the depth and she merges into the sea. So that is what happens with us if we take the refuge at Shiva. Galita Timiramala Shubhra Teja Prakasha Dhavala Kamala Shobha Jnana Punjattahasa Yamijana Hridigamya Nishkalam Dhyayamana Pranatamavatu Mamsaha Manaso Rajahamsa. Swamiji gives the beautiful sequence here. We are seeing he has explained about our lower nature. Now slowly he is taking us towards our real nature in the form of Shiva, from whom all gloom and darkness have disappeared. That radiant light, white, beautiful, as bloom of lotus white is beautiful. The white lotus, so beautiful it looks, shining, innocent, unstained. So he is like that. That blue. So he is also like that, completely stainless. As bloom of lotus white is beautiful, whose laughter loud shades knowledge luminous. His smile, that itself brings the knowledge to his devotee, who by undivided meditation is realized in the self-controlled hearts. Yamijana Hridigamya. So he can be realized in the pure hearts. Yamijana, those who are following the Yama and Niyama, yogis, they meditate upon him, they meditate upon his qualities, they meditate on his personality, they meditate upon him as a principle to get one with him. So when they meditate upon him, definitely he enlightens their heart. Such is his nature. May that lordly swan of the limpid lake of my mind guard me, prostrate before him. See, he says slowly, when the mind is nishkala, nishkalmasha, what happens? It becomes the abode of Lord. So this is the Leela Vilasa. This is the height of imagination. This is the height of Swamiji's imaginary power. He says, even the scriptures also, these several references are coming. When your mind is calm and quiet and it is surrendered to God, His luminosity reflects through your mind. Swami says, Pranatamatu, Pranatamavatu Mamsaha, Manasora. That calm, clear mind, it is just like a lake. Clear lake, calm and quiet lake. What is happening there? Manaso Rajahamsa. In that mind, that lake of mind, that Rajahamsa, just imagine. That swan, the divine swan is swimming wonderfully, engrossed in his own nature. So that's what Swamiji says. After a certain time, if you are dedicated to Shiva, this will happen to you. Sri Ramakrishna had the wonderful this one vision here. Here, while telling the Shiva's nature here, Dhavala Kamala Shobha Jnana Punjatta Hasa. Sri Ramakrishna, Shubhra Tej, Galita Timirmala Shubhra Tej of Prakasha. Sri Ramakrishna had the first vision of Kali like this. When he went to Kali, he was not getting the vision of mother, praying, crying for the mother. And at last he said, "Now you are not ready to give me the vision, so definitely I will finish myself." He runs to take up that sword which is hanging on the wall. He takes it, he's about to cut his neck. By that time, suddenly, as he sees with the open eyes, he says, "I am seeing the ocean of melted silver. It is in and around me, and the waves after waves of that bliss are coming, and they're as if they are hitting me like that." That is the vision of Sri Ramakrishna. So Shubhra Prakasha Tejaha, Shubhra Teja Prakashaha. That is the nature of God. So it means what? After removal of the darkness of delusion comes the stage of enlightenment. Swamiji has explained the stage of enlightenment in this shloka. That is how the Upanishad Rishi says, Shrunvantu Ishve Amritasya Putraya. When they get the vision, these words of wisdom, it comes out of their lips. Mind becomes calm after the vision of God and remains in peace eternal. That is what says the Holy Mother. This is the nature of Shiva. That's why in his Pranama mantra they call him Namah Shivaya Shantaya Karanatraya Hetave Nivedayami Chatmanam. How is the Shivaya? He is an auspicious. How is the Shivaya? Auspicious. Shantaya, he is the peace himself. Karanatraya Hetave. What is the Karana? Sattva, Raja, Tama. These three gunas are the Karanas. What is how it appears? It appears in the form of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. So all this behind, the substratum is the Shiva. So when we become the devotee of that Shiva, or we try to be one with the Shiva, definitely that delusion will be taken away from us. The last shloka goes like this. Durita dalanda daksham, dakshajadatta dosham, kalita kali kalankam, kamra kalhara kantam, parahita karanaya prana vicheda suktam, nata nayana niyuktam nilakantham namamaha. Him, the master remover of evil, who wipes the dark stain of this iron age, Kali, who wipes out the stain of Kali, Kalita Kali Kalankam, whom Daksha's daughter gave her coveted hand, who, like the charming water lily, white is beautiful, who is ready ever to part with life for others' good, whose gaze is on the humble fixed, whose neck is blue with the poison swallowed, him we salute. Swamiji says very beautifully. Here he says, Durita Dalana Daksham. He is always there. For what? He is to remove the evil. Durita Dalana Daksham. He is continuously aware that the evil should be removed from you, from your world. He is completely aware of it. He is very, very much ready to do that. Kalita Kali Kalankam Kamra Kalharakan. He will remove the stain of this Kali. That he's the very master of this kind of actions. He wants to remove the stain of Kali. Then how? Then he is like that fresh white water lily. So when you remove that Kali Kalanka, you become like that. Parahita Karanaya Prana Vicheda Sutkam. He is, now this is the special quality of Shiva. Special quality. Parahita Karanaya. For the people who are ready to give their own life for others, Shiva is their Lord. Shiva is there to take care. One who has that Niswartha Bhavana in his heart or her heart, Shiva is there to protect. Their devotion is answered very quickly by Lord Shiva. That is his nature. Nata Nayana Niyuktam Neelakantham Namamaha. He is always. See, if you see any pictures of Shiva, his eyes are looking down. His eyes are looking down. For whom? Natanayana niyuktam. For whom he is looking, he is always there, looking at his creation, so that those who are suffering and those who are in the need of his help, he is ready to give the helping hand to them. So that is his nature. Such a Nilakantha we worship. So here is the end of this stotra. Last we will say two things here would like to mention. That one is the Ramakrishna once is in ecstasy in Dakshineshwar, and he's shedding the tears while hearing the Shiva Mahimna Sutra sung there in the Shiva temples. Asita giri svam syat kajjalam sindhu patre surataruvar shakha lekhani patra murvi likhati adigrahitva sharada sarvakalam tadapi tava gunanam isha param nayati. O Shiva, who can understand, who can get your end? Who will understand you completely? How it is possible? If the whole ocean is to be taken as an ink, Kajjalam Sindhu Patre. So Surataruvara Shakha Lekhani Patra, the branch of Kalparuksha is to be taken as a pen, and the whole earth is taken as a paper. And if this task has been allotted to Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati, Sarvakalam, forever she is writing she starts writing your glories on this the paper earth, the paper called earth. Even then, what is no one can understand. Tadapi tava gunanam isha paramnayati. Even there is no end for your glory. There is no end. No one can do that work completely. No one can complete that work. That is what Shiva Mahimna Stotra says, and Sri Ramakrishna is going into the ecstasy while hearing this shloka. We will end this discourse with the Dhyana mantra of Vivekananda, which suggests us, which shows us that Vivekananda is nothing but the Shiva incarnated. Vishvacharyam Jagatvandyam Vivekananda Rupinam Vireshwarat Samutpannam Saptarshi Mandalagatam Jnana Bhakti Pradataram Padmaksham Gaura Vigraham Dhyayet Devam Jyotif Punjam Loka Kalyana Karanam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.